Like, I'm here to help. I don't know how I can help, but I'm here to help.
So how you how to help?
About to get on a plane, 2 planes, and go to the time zone back to goddamn Nevada. Love it. I would. They're both married. What is he trying a Prius? That's like the crinkliest bag of chips ever.
Yes,
Oh, we're
yes,
live.
y'all. We are here. We are live, and I don't know who was shooting dice or eating chips or
Deep
got a
frying a
rattlesnake in the
Prius.
house. There was this wicked like rattling sound. I heard it, and luckily that shit's gone now. It's your boy Denzel Snipes, aka the Mayor of Snipe City, baby. I got JT right next to me. Right below me is the Dirty himself, Dom DeRubeis. And as soon as he get back, either with some wings or some chitlins or whatever it is he eating tonight, there you go. J
Why
Chitlins.
A Jenkins.
you reading me though? Why are
J
you reading me just now?
huh? Cause you about to pull out a bucket of chicken or something. I
Because
already know you, man.
he's like watching film on you, like he knows your tendencies.
Been watch film on
Clearly,
me.
We got the game film on you, sir.
because
Yeah.
I'm about to bring
He read the scouting report on JJ.
I'm about to put you in
because
the
I'm about
cooler
to
come
bring some
Sunday at 1
pizza.
p.m., sir.
It's gonna be. Hey, I give it a couple more weeks, and he gonna start showing back up on camera with margaritas. And Margarita Joe is coming, making a comeback. He's making a comeback.
You know the Joe I miss?
The holidays are
I
coming
miss
back though.
I miss the Komodo Joe. That was my favorite one.
I just missed the drink in the wonton soup cup.
Anyway, let's
Yeah,
start. Let's get started with the show, man.
yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. This is the Gauntlet, y'all, and okay, Bacon, what's up, man? Always first in, last out, man. Appreciate you coming through. Well, we're gonna kick this off with Gauntlet Grinders for week 7. As you all know, this is our weekly segment, of course, during the season. We go across the panel. Of course, people are live in the chat, and they pick who they believe is their outstanding performer, the Gauntlet Grinder of the previous week. And so, with that being said, I want to go ahead and start off with Dom. Dom, since you know, back in the original stage, the original closet with the jerseys in the back, go ahead and give us your Gauntlet Grinders for week 7.
He's not gay, but
Okay.
he's coming out of the closet.
We need the closet's over there. I'm just too lazy to hang these back up. It looks like a closet behind me, though, don't it? We need and I can't think of the word. A graphic, an image. We need someone. Whoever's out there watching, if you got some digital animation skills, we would love a pro bono graphic for Gauntlet Grinders. It's something
Yeah.
we'll put our heads together. We'll think on more on that later. NFC Gauntlet Grinder. I'm going Homer again because he had a hell of a game against the team that was in first place until they came to Detroit. Oh, wait, it was on the road that we beat them because we travel well now. It's Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches, 44 yards. The man was unstoppable, and he definitely picked up the slack because Monty did not have a great game. He fumbled, but we got it done. Our defense really did not play that well. I think there was a total of, I don't know, 8 incompletions in that entire game between Mr. Perfect and I heard someone call Sam Darnold Slingshot Sammy earlier, and I like that. The good ship Darnold, I don't know. Is it sinking? Will it stay afloat for another week?
I don't
More
know,
on that
man.
later as well. AFC. Apparently RB1 now, I'm convinced, in Crapsonville, one Tank Bigsby. 26 carries, 118 yards, and 2 big touchdowns in London. I did not get up and watch that game because I was 3 time zones away, and I was not getting up at 6 in the morning to watch Crapsonville and the New England Patriots. So I didn't see it, but I did see some highlights, and he had a hell of a game. I think he's the guy in Jacksonville now. I love ATN, so they've got
Probably.
a nice 1-2 punch there. But if you asked me at the beginning of the season, would I have said that Tank Bigsby would be the one of the 1-2 punch? I would have said no. But yeah, those are my Gauntlet Grinders.
All right, absolutely. Tank Bigsby has just he's been amazing, despite the struggles of Trevor Lawrence. One may argue that it was Tank Bigsby in the running game in general that have gotten them their wins thus far. And of course, I mean, you can't go wrong with Jahmyr Gibbs. You can't. James can tell you all about
Great
that. He
game.
got him on his fantasy.
Yep, he got me the win.
Fine
I'm
young
on a
man.
winning streak now.
Fine young man. Well, we're gonna go ahead and moving on over to JJ. See JJ chewing already. He munching already, man. What's your gauntlet grinder, man?
I'm going an AFC. I'm gonna be Homer easily, but it's not gonna be what you think because at the end of the day, the boy, the obvious choice gets praised enough, and he's done everything. I will say, his pass to Bateman was the best throw I've ever seen in his life. It was so beautiful. It was so amazing, and I give him so much for that. But I'm gonna give it to Marlon Humphrey because for a defense that gets shredded, he changed the whole course of the game with his 2 interceptions and 1 being in the red zone. When you get killed and killed and killed, but you keep showing up, that is the definition of a grind. And he grinded it out. And in my opinion, his pick literally told the offense, all right, we got this. And that is what I would like for my defense. I'm going to give it to him because he definitely grinded his butt off. He did what he had to do, and he helped us get this victory. And the NFC side, I am going to give it to Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is playing exceptionally well. I think Jared Goff is a fantastic situation. He has full control of the offense. He knows exactly what he wants. He knows exactly how to get it. They have a plethora of arsenal of weapons. And I think this, correct me if I'm wrong, Don, but I feel like this is the game he only had 5 incompletions.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
his completion percentage the last 4 weeks is like 80%. Maybe
so
higher.
just so you know, me and Dom are twins this week because both of our quarterbacks only missed 5 passes.
That was a hell of a game that Lamar had.
Bingo. So, but I got to give it to Jared Goff because Jared Goff definitely, in my opinion, it's funny because when he was brought over, he was literally brought over to be a stopgap. And now he is the guy that is projected to be around for the next 5, 6, 7 years, however long they want to keep him. He grinded that out. Big ups to Jared Goff and Marlon Humphrey.
Hey, and by the way, what's the update on Marlon Humphrey? Because he suffered a hip stinger in that game, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure. At this point, to be honest with you, I don't even care because it's expected in injuries and games. I have been, and
Thanks,
James
Grizz.
knows this because he's been in the chat for me. There's the confidence in my team is different from any other year. Like, I don't think there's anything we cannot do. And I don't think if we lose, only person I have to be honest with you, if we lose Lamar, then all our hopes are gone. God willing, he doesn't. But it's not because he's the only person for the team. It's he makes everything go. Everything is centered around him. So if we lose him, no. But if we have him, I'm not. If injury happens here, there. I believe in this offense. I think this offense can score on anybody.
No, absolutely. And the reason why I brought up Marlon Humphrey is because, well, you said it yourself. There's holes in that pass defense. One could argue the one bright spot is Marlon Humphrey, and if he's gone,
he's having
Kyle Hamilton is a great
People
player.
forgot how good that dude is because the rest of the defense was looking sus, but he's still that guy.
He is literally having an all-pro year right now. And he said coming in this season that he wanted to start getting more interceptions. He has 4 now. Man's definitely doing what he's supposed to do.
And then to it, yeah. Oh, no, go ahead, JJ. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't have anything.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, we're gonna swing on over to JT. JT, who you got for your gauntlet grinders?
AFC, I don't have the stats, but I was very impressed with Russell Wilson. And you guys know that I was on the show saying, I don't know about this decision because I don't know how it's going to go. The locker room might be upset. Justin Fields won a lot of games. And then Pittsburgh Steelers go out and they light up the New York Jets. Russell Wilson had a good game. And Mike Tomlin looks like he made the right decision. So you might want to stop questioning this guy in the decision-making. But Russell Wilson, first game this season, debut for the Steelers. Very good performance from him. And the NFC is Saquon Barkley, who went against his former team and pretty much destroyed them. Was around 13 yards from his career high, but he decided that he didn't want to get it. There was video footage of the coach talking to him on the sideline saying, do you want to go get it? You're this close. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to let the young boys eat. So it kind of just shows you what kind of guy is, what kind of teammate is, leader on this team. So Saquon Barkley doing a great job. And You could definitely see on some of the runs where he was hitting his former teammates, running guys over. He was really ready for that performance, and he really showed up against his former team. So Saquon Barkley, NFC, and Russell Wilson in the AFC.
Awesome, absolutely. And so with that being said, my gauntlet grinders real quick in the AFC. I'm going to take Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't even really need to run the ball like that. So he just threw it all over the place. And he didn't turn the ball over through the air. 21 of 33 for 323, 2 touchdowns, including one to the brand newest Bill, Amari Cooper, and 116.1 passer rating. Once again, this is a division where it is the Bills to lose. And as JJ alluded to before, yes, he can throw you out of games. He can also throw you into games as well.
You know how many picks Josh Allen has this year?
How
Zero.
many? Hey, none?
Zero.
Yes,
Zero.
none? That
Yeah,
is
dude,
true.
I fucking had to pick my jaw up off the ground with 2 hands.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes has 6 TDs to 8 picks, and they're 6-0. The NFL is drunk. My NFC grinder.
Lamar has more passing yards than Patrick
The
Mahomes.
NFL is drunk.
Does Lamar? Yeah. Yep, very true. Well, and then my NFC grinder, I'm going to go ahead and, y'all mentioned Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to give it to Sun God himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 8 receptions for 112 and a touchdown. Something about that game, and I discussed this on the Sideline Sports Show. You got a team in Detroit that can beat you in multiple situations. They can dominate you. They can come from behind. They can blow a multi-score lead and still find a way to win the game. As of right now, the NFC runs, I'd say, it runs through Detroit. But Amon-Ra St. Brown definitely is a huge contributor, and he is my gauntlet grinder for the NFC for week 7. All right, and
You kind of say that it's actually feel like it's going to run through Detroit. They're playing so well. They're the best team that's playing right now in NFC, in my opinion. I will say the one team I think is going to challenge it is
It may or may not. More on that later.
Correctly. The one team I think if they get it together that can challenge it is right here in Philadelphia. I think it's going to come down to those 2 teams.
very well could. Very well
I hope it does.
I don't think we can beat Philly.
Well, when we come back, we will be back with everyone's favorite longtime mainstay, sports moron of the week. We got to pay some bills. Be right back.
I like the last part. It goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, everyone, this is the Sports Moron of the Week segment. Yes, Jerry Jones is a sports moron. He's kind of automatic, That's about
When
as
has
automatic.
he not been the sports moron?
That's about as automatic as playing Madden on rookie mode and running up 60 points. But these are the dumbest takes and actions by athletes, fans, or analysts of the past 7 days. Let's go in reverse. We're going to go to JT if you got one. Say it with your whole chest, not half of it. Go.
I have 2, but I'll just start with, obviously, Jerry Jones. How can it not be him with the comments that he made about Derrick Henry from this week, saying basically that they didn't sign Derrick Henry because he doesn't feel that they fits the offense. Like, how can a guy like this not fit your offense? If you have an opportunity to get a guy of this caliber, then you do it. You just do it, and you plug him into any offense, and you see what he's able to provide. He did it in Tennessee, obviously his whole career, and now he's with Baltimore, and he takes the Ravens to new heights as well. So don't try to say that this guy was not worth it. He's trying to cover his own ass by how embarrassing it was to not offer him the right contract. So I just think the more Jerry Jones talks, it just continues to get worse.
Are you saying that the dynamite tandem of a washed Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle are not better?
Jerry Jones is sports moron, for sure.
And who was your second one?
Oh, my second one was Todd Bowles, and the decision to leave the guys in late in the game obviously led to some injuries. Game's out of reach. You just kind of got to try to get out of there and be healthy. I don't think it was very smart, and it was a costly decision. So at the end of the day, that decision was on the coach and Todd Bowles. I just don't think that's the proper way to handle the situation, and it's going to hurt the Buccaneers down the stretch because Godwin's probably not going to play the rest of the season, and Mike Evans is already out for multiple weeks. So it's just not looking too good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, not absolutely. And Dom, if you got one, who is your sports moron?
You said you were going in reverse.
Oh wait, my bad. I'm sorry. I did. Yep, I did say we were going in reverse. You know what? My bad, JJ. I guess it was a tit for tat from picked off. I'm in timeout. You go.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Okay, I get it. Oh, game time. You know, they're not morons to me. This is just a call out. And I will go to it again. And it's so funny. It's actually comical, and I actually watch these people now because I already know what's happening. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, come on now. It's the Stephen A. Smiths, the Nick Wrights, and anyone on the media whenever you talk about Lamar Jackson, because whenever his name comes up, there's always something that helps him. There's always something that needs to be recognized or anything. And the very thing that it happens now is it's all about Derrick Henry. But when you have to Derrick Henry's like, it's about him. Derrick Henry's like, it's all about him. And it's like, at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. You thought the dude wouldn't be this good or ever make it this year, but because he is here and he continues to be doing something you said he couldn't do, you're always going to try to find things because you know at the end of the day, you were wrong. I have been told, I've been watching people say that he would not be in the league at this point in time. And then on top of that, and I will tell people all the time, I'm not going to be like this. But if that boy wins a Super Bowl, you better believe it's going to be so funny for me to watch them on these sets because I promise you, I already know what's going to happen. If you're going to I'm calling you out because you keep spinning the wheels. Just sit here and say, he's a good quarterback. That's it. That's all you have to say is he's a good quarterback. You don't have to try to justify anything because I'll be very honest with you. I cannot give so much merit to your argument about this guy when I'm saying he can't throw a football, and I'm sitting there looking at him like, are we watching football?
I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't give any merit to anything Nick Wright says ever. But he actually said something the other day that I agreed with, and I almost killed myself.
No, I don't even really. I don't really agree. I never really watch him. He's just part of the whole microcosm of people spinning things. I love it because everybody's spinning because they don't want to sit here and say, you know what, I was wrong.
I was wrong.
That's it. I was wrong. Everyone who knows me, people think I'm the biggest Lamar fan. I am. But when he first got to the Ravens, everyone knows that remembers I was not a fan. I did not want him to start. I didn't think he would be that person. I admitted that literally within like a year. That's it. Just admit and we move on. That's it.
I think
people are always going to have something to say about Lamar until he wins a ring. I don't agree with it. I'm just and you know that more than the rest of us do.
I think every single year people look at Lamar play ball and they remember rookie year Lamar. And JJ, remember years ago, I told you, I was like, you know what? He can throw when he sets his feet, but he has to work on it. And he's worked on it every single year. And people still call him Lamar running backs. And so if he brings home a Super Bowl, then all those that spoke against him and doubted him are going to have to eat crow. But we're going to move on to, go ahead.
Kill this narrative real quick. The Ravens have weapons. It's not just Lamar. We have weapons all over the field, period.
No, absolutely. And so, Dom, your sports moron of the week.
I see it, Cowboy.
Believe it or not, and I might be willing to take this back. This is kind of a pending sports moron based upon if something happens at the trade deadline, but it goes back a bit further, all the way to the offseason. And my sports moron of the week thus far, due to his no moves to replace Aiden Hutchinson at defensive end, and now another one of our defensive ends is hurt this week. It's GM Brad Holmes. I said all off season, you got Hutch and who. Now you've got who and who. Yeah, one of them's named Ukwu, so it's Ukwu and who. It's just, and I've been pounding my fist on the table about this for months, about how this man doesn't want to come up off draft picks, which I understand draft picks are valuable and he's very good in the draft, but it's like, dude, your window is right now. We were one bad quarter away from making the Super Bowl. You just lost one of the best defensive ends in the entire NFL, was having maybe the best season of any defensive end in the entire NFL, and he has not done anything. Somehow, some way, and I watched that whole game. I went back and looked at the game logs. I was like, we got 4 sacks. By who? And it's unfortunate. Well, it's unfortunate from my standpoint because it seems like one of those things that will reinforce someone's stubborn opinion about what they do or don't need to do, and then give them an even more highly inflated opinion of themselves. Like, yeah, we're doing fine. We don't need to go get anybody. We just beat Minnesota on the road without Aiden Hutchinson. We don't need anyone. No, Brad Holmes, go get someone. And I know it's not going to be Max Crosby. And I know it's not going to be Myles Garrett. And it probably won't even be Trey Hendrickson. But please, God, go get somebody. Zadarius Smith. I don't care. Just somebody. Not somebody off your practice squad. Not somebody off Cincinnati's practice squad. Not some guy off the fucking couch. Somebody playing defensive end, a starter preferably, under the age of 35 that plays, that can get to the fucking quarterback. Rant over.
All right. Well, and so with that being said, when we come back, we will head right on into the topic. So stick
you're
with
not-
us. Oh, I don't have one.
You're not gonna do your sports moron?
I don't have one.
Oh,
That
okay.
That's rare.
All good. All good. I think we
Some
covered
people
it.
don't have one. That's rare. That always happens. I love being on here with y'all. I ain't even going to front.
He didn't have any because he wasn't looking at your social media posts.
I was a little butthurt that I was not able to come on the show last week because for as much of a mark as my buddy out in Nevada is for this show, says he watches it all the time, I figured he'd want to, see the magic happen. But nope, had to go out to dinner at 6 o'clock West Coast time with the septuagenarian. So sorry I missed the show.
I know it's all
Apology
good
accepted.
to hear now. But so we're moving into topic number 1, and that is the news this
I hope
week
he
of
sees
wide
this.
receiver DeAndreHopkins traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs have a banged up receiving core, so the move, in my opinion, was solid. And not only that, but all they had to do was give up a conditional 5th-round pick, which can turn into a 4th if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. There's one other condition in there somewhere. I think the main one was that they make the Super Bowl, it can turn into a 4th. And if DeAndre Hopkins has 60% of the offensive plays, he starts. Yeah, if he has 60% of them. So absolutely a great move. People are calling 3P already, but I want to get y'all's thoughts about this. So we'll start off with Dom. Dom, your thoughts about D-Hop to Kansas City?
At first it didn't really move the needle for me. Then I took a look at his stats from last year. I had totally forgot. This man, and he's not that old yet. He's what, 32?
Something like that, yeah.
He may be in the twilight of his career, but just last season, 1,072 yards and 7 touchdowns, catching balls from Malik Willis and Levis and Butthead. So obviously, this man's still got something in the tank. And on how much obviously, it's not even a comparison. But let's just say, who's the next best quarterback that DeAndre Hopkins ever played with? Now that he's with Patrick Mahomes,
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
For sure.
Oh, that Deshaun Watson.
Texans Watson.
Yeah, okay, that guy.
Deshaun,
he was pretty good.
Before the downfall, Deshaun
He was amazing.
He was once like a top 5 quarterback. A lot of people don't remember.
Yeah, people are starting to forget.
So, this move lets me know 2 things, and I'm actually happy for it. It lets me know that they need some area of opportunity to get better in because they know what's out there in the AFC. And I will say this just from the simple fact of the matter is they see the Buffalo Bills doing their thing. They see the Cincinnati Burrows and Cincinnati Bengals. That's cool. I'm going to call that now. Cincinnati Burrows. You see them crawling out of a hole. They won 3 of the last 5 games, and 2 losses have been against the top 2 teams in the AFC, and the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens, by no more than 4 points or less. So they have been in their games. They see Baltimore having an offense that's doing what they're doing. They know that they can probably beat us and beat anybody at any given time. But when I look at it, and I think Michael Irvin made a great point when he was talking about this whole situation. He was like, the Chiefs saw them beat the Ravens by 1 toe, and they had their wide receivers. That lets Baltimore know they can bang with them. Baltimore knows that, but Kansas City knows when they saw these receivers going, we got to get somebody back, because there's a chance that we see this team or these other teams again, we may not beat them. So I totally get it, and I'm all for it, because I always want the best. My last Super Bowl, we went against 2 of the top 4 quarterbacks of all time, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. I'm not scared of anybody. I won everybody, and I like what they did here.
Absolutely. Dom, you had any further takes on DeAndreHopkins to Kansas City?
Not really. Great move. Price was right, and their receiving core is decimated. It's exactly what Patrick Mahomes needs. And I don't know what really is going on with Travis Kelce. I thought he was maybe just kind of done or ready to just kind of step away and retire and go be a Swiftie. And he's been trying to push his own agenda of trying to be the next Gronk, which I hate for everyone, because the world doesn't need one Gronk, let alone 2 of them.
He plays
great move.
Like Gronk.
What'd you say?
I said I don't think his play style is anywhere close to Gronk.
No, I just meant like post career, like trying to be
like personality wise. Okay.
Let's hope not. Well, Gronk's a blithering idiot, but different story for a different day. But yeah, great move. Price was right. Definitely something that needed to happen. And it's like JJ said, they, it's crazy thinking, an undefeated team needs to go make a move like that, but they did. Like I said, the receiving core is decimated, and D-Hop, anytime you can get D-Hop, it's a good thing.
And just think, when Isaiah Pacheco gets back, they're essentially going to have a 4-headed monster. So, JT, on you, man. Your thoughts on the DeAndreHopkins trade to Kansas City?
Cowboy X Factor says the Chiefs tried to get Cooper Kupp, but the price was too high. And the Rams won last night, so they will probably
for the Rams.
They will probably keep him. I agree. I think the Rams are a dangerous team, but DeAndre, I think he still has something to offer. We were just talking about Deshaun Watson and how people forget how good he was, but I also think people forget how good DeAndre was and has been throughout his career. He had this stretch where people were saying this guy was the best receiver in the NFL for what he was doing with outside of before Deshaun Watson, to how many subpar quarterbacks he played with when he was really young. So DeAndreHopkins, I think, still has a little bit to offer. And playing with Mahomes and, Andy Reid calling the plays, I think it's a good situation, a good fit for him. And the Chiefs obviously are decimated with the receiver position right now. Xavier Worthy being the only real threat that they have. And, let's be honest, the guy's a rookie and, he's not really doing too much other than, going for these go routes and going down the field. I think they need someone with a route tree other than just that at the position. So it makes a lot of sense why they made a move. But I think the Chiefs got to figure it out. They got to figure out the consistency with the offense. Things have been kind of iffy for them. I think they're really missing Isaiah Pacheco. I think we're starting to see how much value he has with the team and how, he's being missed too. So I think issues will kind of solve themselves as the season goes on. But the Chiefs are not where they want to be right now. They're not playing great offensively, and Mahomes is definitely not playing great this season. So they got a lot of things to correct, and, making this move can help get them in the right direction. I think DeAndre comes in with the chip on his shoulder, ready to go out and show that he still has a little bit left to offer.
Yep, absolutely. And in my honest opinion, I'll keep it quick. I thought it was a good deal. Titans obviously are in rebuild mode, so they can use a conditional pick, provided that I mean, it's going to be a pick anyway. It's going to be the 5th or the 4th round if conditions are met. But no, this is nice, and this right here is undoubtedly the closest that best chance he had in his career to win a ring. DeAndreHopkins, he went to sleep 1-5 and woke up 6-0. So when we come back, we'll be on to topic number 2. New thing we got going on. So stay tuned. All right, and we are back. So, new thing I wanted to try here is that's our trifecta segment. We are going to fit 3 mini topics and go around the horn and get everybody's thoughts. So the 3 mini ones in one topic. So read off real quick, or if you want to just address all 3 of them at once. So last night's face mask no call led to a late safety in the Thursday night football game. The Minnesota Vikings got the ball back down 8 with time remaining for a potential game-tying touchdown drive, and a missed face mask call led to a safety that iced the game. Also, wide receiver Justin Jefferson named for the 2nd time in his career to the Madden 99 club, and also Jason Kelsey has been tabbed to host a late-night talk show on ESPN beginning in January, hosting the talk show, talking to celebs and athletes. JT, we're going to start with you and go around the horn. If you want to address every single one of them, give us your thoughts.
Sure. Face mask. I don't even know what to say. The ref was right in front of the play. It was obvious. Missed it. But these are the guys that can determine the outcome of a game just by doing stuff like that. So we'll never know what would have happened if they did call the play and the drive continues. Maybe the Vikings has a chance to go win that game. We don't know, but because of a missed call, it is what it is. Second, Justin Jefferson made the 99 club for Madden. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. You can argue he's been number 1 pretty much since he came into the league. So, getting the rating is what it is. I don't really put a lot of stock into Madden ratings. Some people do, but people are going to be rated what they are. But I don't think it impacts anything for me. Justin Jefferson is one of the best. So, Madden, he could be a 99 or a 95 or 96. It doesn't make a difference for me. And Jason Kelsey, I just got to say, the guy obviously has the personality. You've seen it throughout his career with the Eagles. You've seen it on the New Heights podcast with his brother, and now doing stuff with Monday Night Football with ESPN. So he's got the personality for the TV. He can get people to watch, and who doesn't love Jason Kelsey? So that's what I have to say about that.
All right, and that is JT thoughts on the trifecta segment. Moving on to Dom. I think we. I'm sorry. That's 2 for me. That's 2 strike. Okay. JJ,
is this starting back up again? Again.
If you had a margarita in your hand, maybe I would have noticed a little bit more. I'm sorry, man. But anyhow, with the
there are 4 people on this set.
You being so disrespectful right now.
One. There are 4 people on this set, and you have me in the screen.
Maybe
again, my bad. My bad.
That's crime, bro.
That's strike 2. I'm sorry, brother. My apologies. But
black on black crime.
Your time. Oh, he froze up anyway and left.
Look what you did, bro. Look what you just did.
While we're waiting on him, I'll go real fast.
That wasn't none of me. You know what? Well, because he froze up, we have no choice but to go to Dom now. So, Dom, wait, hold on. He's back. Hold on, he's back. He's back.
That is
He rage quitted.
I had nothing to do with that.
Rage quitter.
Had nothing to do with that, JJ.
I'm sitting there I'm just having fun, making jokes, laughing at that whole situation, and y'all ain't moving. I was like, that is so funny. Right when
I was like, did he freeze?
Right when
he rage quitted.
Dude, that would have been the best mannequin challenge. That would have been the best mannequin challenge. JJ would have got the award for that. All right, JJ Jenkins, your thoughts on the missed face mask, on Justin Jefferson being named to the Mad 99 club, and Jason Kelsey to host a late night talk show on ESPN.
At the end of the day, they were down 10. They weren't really going to win, but I understand the upset about it. I don't really care because the same thing happened to Mark Andrews in our game and it wasn't called. I already know the refs pick and choose what they want to do. I've lost the game to a 10-second runoff. I don't really have anything issues. I get it. Everybody's team has won and lost because of refs. Let's just call it what it is. We always talk about them like they're all these people, but every team has benefited from calls that they know. If you sat here and tell me you can watch every game and you sit there look at penalty, look at a flag and be like, every flag was right or every flag was wrong, you like, stop playing. Marlon, we all got PI. We all seen face masks. It ain't that big of a deal for me. They were down 10. Could they have came back? Who knows? But at the end of the day, don't sit here and act like we're going to complain about something that we are knowing is going to happen. So it's like, okay, cool. Justin Jefferson named to 99 Club. This is going to sound so bad because I really love this game, but I don't care. Like, I don't play the game. It's nice. It's fantastic, and he deserves it. If I was a kid, I would have been ballistic off of it. I'd have been amazed at it because I used to look at the ratings. I loved the ratings, and I loved in Madden where it is like what they're doing now is in Madden, people may not realize, but if your player performed well at 4 weeks in or every 4 weeks, their rating used to go up because they were performing better. And so that's what they're doing now when I'm thinking. It's like, I love that. So I don't care, but do your thing. And Jason Kelce, I love Jason Kelce. My favorite picture of Jason Kelce's personality, which is why I love this idea, is when he was talking to Ice Spice, and Ice Spice was just sitting there just like, yeah, okay. And he's just like going and is doing this whole thing. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, this dude is just so happy to talk about whatever he's talking about, and she knows it, and that's why she's just sitting there like, yeah. And it's like, but I look forward to Jason Kelce. The Kelce brothers are awesome. Maybe, yeah, they're awesome. Yeah. He's good looking, but the number one is Travis. But moving on.
All right. With that being said, all of us, we had the topic one time where we named our top. We went to a top 10 receiver. Well, we went through top 5 really, and then we just kind of stretched it into 10, and we were like pretty much in agreement that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league and stuff. So I mean that's no shock. But no, I was the same. I would look at the ratings beforehand, and I would. Okay, like this is a snub, this is right, this is overrated. We all did that, right? But no, we're moving on to Dom. Dom, finally your turn. All right. Your thoughts on the face mask no call, Jefferson in the 99 Club for the second time in his career, and Jason Kelce hosting the late night talk show.
All right, two things about the face mask. One, obviously it was a blown call. However, for the ref to come out and say I didn't have a good view, and then you see the stills of it, it's literally right in front of him, like 3 feet away.
He had his eyes closed.
What do we always say about refs and bad calls? Don't leave the game in the ref's hands.
Yep.
You don't want to get fucked by a bad call. Be in the lead.
Yeah.
Have a 2-score lead in the waning moments of the game, and then all the bad calls on earth will not screw you out of a win. Like JJ said, we've all been screwed out of wins. Some of us have been fortunate. We've had bad calls go our way and won games because of it.
Right.
Justin Jefferson, absolutely deserving of that rating. I don't play Madden anymore, but if I did, I wouldn't care because we don't fuck with no Minnesota Vikings. Jason Kelce, yeah. All I can say about that is good for him. He was a great player, great personality, super humble dude, very entertaining. Travis, if you're watching, take some cues from your brother. Be more like your older brother. He's a good role model.
Agree with everything you just said.
And off.
Yeah. Nope. Absolutely. And then there's that playoff game when the little girl wanted to go and meet Taylor Swift, and he took her to the window and knocked on the window. Was like, "Hey, this is one of your fans," and Taylor interacted with her and everything. Genuinely good dude. So, but yeah, and when we get back, we will be on to our non-sports topic of the night. We gotta pay some bills. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back on the Gauntlet. And for our last segment is, of course, our non-sports topic. So We all know what's going on with the diddler and all that, okay? But if you want to bring him up, cool. But this is more of who's around him, or even just in general, okay? Because we all know, and what made me think of this was because we all know how Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez had kind of found each other again, and then out of nowhere, Ben wants a divorce, and it's heavily speculated that hey, all this is allegedly, by the way, y'all don't sue me, but is apparently he had an inside track that she might be on them tapes or compromised or something. But it made me think, how bad is it when people worship celebrities? I think a lot about like the culture, like here in America and everything, and just the way that like it's okay to admire them and like, hey, I want to be like them. But we've seen like outright worship of these people, and they have a dark side. And that's why they call it the dark side of Hollywood. So I'm gonna start off with Dom. Give us your thoughts about how bad it is and can be when people worship these celebrities.
99% of the time it's bad because most celebrities, like, yeah, they're famous, but just like you and me and JJ and James, they're still normal people by and large, but a lot of them have this air of superiority to where they do the sorts of things and think they can get away with them, like
Yeah.
Diddy and countless others, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, if you believe that, which most of us do. So, I mean, you, I don't think anyone should be worshipped. Other, if you're religious, worship Jesus, worship God, or whatever, whatever your thing is with religion, worship who you want. But you shouldn't be worshiping people because people should not be worshipped. I mean, maybe if you're talking like Mother Teresa or someone, or Jason Kelsey. You want to worship Jason Kelsey? Have at it. Really good dude, role model. It was also Charles Barkley who said, probably 30 years ago, he was like, we're athletes, not role models. Charles Barkley, pretty good dude, pretty entertaining, great basketball player, most accomplished rebounder I've ever seen at 6'5" in my life. But a degenerate gambler. Got drunk and threw a guy through a plate glass window once. Not someone you should be worshiping. And I'm actually, I have a little personal touch to this because next Tuesday, going with a friend of mine to a concert of a band, a former iteration of the horrorcore offshoot of ICP Twisted, many, many years ago, House of Crazies. I'm a huge House of Crazies mark, but my friend Josh, he's just got to plop down that $100 every time for the VIP meet and greet. And it's like, dude, you've done this shit so many times, like, just stop. And now we got to be there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to get in line for this stupid ass meet and greet. I'm gonna be in downtown Detroit for goddamn 10 hours. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this. But he's got epilepsy, so I'm his ride, so I got to do this. And I might just be like, dude, I'm gonna drop you off, and you go do your thing, and I'll be around the corner at the bar, and I'll see you at 6 o'clock when the doors open. Long story short, don't worship celebrities. They're not worthy of your worship.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's been my number one bit of criticism when it comes to people in this country. Is like it's almost like the bigger your bank account, the better your character must be. Well, so let them tell it. The Kardashians are fucking a bunch of Mother Teresa's, right? You know,
Psych.
um, and it's always been that, but that's just how it's always kind of been. This country, and as someone who's traveled outside the country, I can tell you it's not like that. Not with their people. Like their scholars, their politicians, kind of speak for the people. But only in America where the celebrities speak for the people. Like you would think anywhere else is unheard of, you know. But I want to swing it down to JJ. I got you this time in order, so don't at me, okay? But let's get your thoughts about this because I know you got a lot to say on this one.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm the first to start say I worship Jesus, and I worship Jesus as my Savior and God as my Lord. It's all the day, every day in the way. And so, for that bit alone, that's me.
Well, I'm sorry, James. Put that comment up, man. Kid just said. Go ahead, JJ. No, not that one. The latest one.
That one's apt. 80% might be a little high.
So that is interesting you brought that up because number one, that had nothing. Kim didn't release the tape. Kim never touched the tape. Kim didn't even really. That was all Kris Kardashian. Kris put that out there. So everybody made Kim to be this big bad person, whatever. Kim was sold and sacrificed for her family to get there. So we have to really remember that Kim is not the person that put that tape out for Ray J. Ray J and Kris.
She was okay with it being recorded, though. So if you don't want something to be out there, then don't record.
You never made a sex tape with your girl?
Not at all,
Doesn't
because
mean
I have
it's
plenty of
okay with
videos
you
I've
selling it.
recorded. I have plenty recorded videos I've recorded at the end of the day. But the whole point of putting it out there wasn't her plan. And a lot of people she often attributed it to being her plan. She never planned to put it out there. You can record all you want. You ain't seen half of the 100 videos I made, but they still out on my phones and other places, other people's phones and stuff. So, at the end of the day, I know they ain't going to put it out there because they ain't going to have no agreement to do so. And that's unfortunately what happened with Kim.
Before you continue, JJ, real quick, because you're right. It wasn't her plan to put that out there, okay? But she reaped the benefits. She never turned them down. She never said, hey, this is wrong. I'm being exploited. She reaped every benefit.
Yeah.
But it's nothing wrong. It's nothing was wrong with it being released. It's just my point is everybody's sitting there saying she did it to gain ahead. She didn't do it. She could have reaped the rewards with it, but at the end of the day, the rewards went back to who? The rewards went back to who as well? It went back to the mother. Went back to the family.
Plus, consenting to being recorded and consenting for mass production and
who released it? Hold on, Don. And who released it got the most benefit from it.
Okay.
Kris, if we're talking about an actually perfect example, shows the dark side. Kris sold her daughter to make these millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. And also, she is also rumored to be having a kid with OJ from Chloe. So she hopped from man to powerful to man. There's a dark-sided person that people seem to love and appreciate. For me, as I would say, I don't do the false idols or so. At the unfortunate same time is I know where we are in our world. And I know what that place represents. And I know what happens in that city. And so it is a bad thing to worship a person. Because at the end of the day, the biggest folly in this world is that people can be perfect. Everybody has a dark side. Everybody has a side when they get mad. They think about the most vile things that sometimes they scare them. And the number one reason why this stuff in Hollywood is so drastic is because drugs. Drugs are readily available for superstars out there. And when you go to these big events, Garcelle Buenavenez talked about this on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. When they were talking about she was talking about the fact that she had got Bill Cosby invited her to his house for an acting gig. And she said, at the time, Bill Cosby was huge. So, of course, she jumped in. She said when she got there, he offered her a drink, and she took one sip and realized it was too much and left. Then you go to talk about Left Eye, who stayed with Black and 3LW when R. Kelly wanted to meet with them hours into the night because they knew. People in the industry know the bad people are in these places. Right. You just have to pay attention. They know who not to mess with. They know. One person you could probably count on that may be a person that you could sit there and be like, you know what? He's somebody that I can bang with.
I can fool with, yeah.
Yes, 50 Cent.
50 Cent don't mess with none of the craziness out there. 50 Cent don't mess with none of that stuff out there. At the end of the day, you see it in so many different situations. You've seen it in cartoons of Tom and Jerry, where they demonstrate Hollywood to be the place where all things are evil. There's an episode where Tom is going out for audition for acting, and then they start off looking like a ram head and so many different recognizing things of being evil. And it's like it's a city of angels. Resident Evil called it the place where you get to go to hell. Percy Jackson, the Olympians, had the same thing. At LA considered hell. It's like everything is saying there's something out there. I used to want to go to LA and live out there. I don't. And I love my people out there because not everybody's like that. But those people at Beverly Hills and the Palisades and Calabasas, LeBron's everything area, it's yes. And Worshipping people in Hollywood is crazy because everybody's flawed.
Yeah.
Everybody's flawed. And I'll leave it with this. I'm gonna let y'all go. Scream 3, I think it was. It was scene with Courtney Cox and her make-a-leg, and they was talking to the dude about Sidney Prescott's mom being used and thrown around at these parties, and he said it was a different time back then.
Right.
This is what they did. That just continued into now. They just changed the game of what they do, but they've always had the dark side with them. And I don't know, unfortunately, if people do that, that's how they get caught up, unfortunately. And that's why they get into situations and they turn into some things. You think Orlando Brown? You think Orlando Brown?
The only thing that's different is the drugs, but it's
You
still
think
the drugs.
you think Orlando Brown wanted to be that way? Do people really think Orlando Brown came up to be this way? Lindsay Lohan? No.
Drugs.
Britney Spears? No.
Britney Spears. Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears is just of limited intelligence quotient. I feel sorry for that girl. I really do.
She's a heck of a dancer, by far. One of the
she can
best
sing too.
She's
just not very bright and didn't really want that life.
Yeah, but awesome take by JJ just now. Now we're gonna bring it up to JT. JT, give us your thoughts about the dark side of Hollywood and all the weirdness that comes about. Maybe even some things that bother you a little bit.
I mean, I'm kind of with JJ on this one, where, don't get me wrong, there's celebrities that I really like and some that I look up to, but nothing too crazy. If I see a person who has like really good qualities that I respect, then yeah. But I'm don't consider myself a fanatic of any of these people because they're also capable of doing wrong. So not really sure where the idea came from that these people are perfect, but it shouldn't be. So that's just kind of where I'm at with all of that. So I try to keep it different when I think about the people that are influential to me in my life. Like, you gotta have influential people around you all the time. I think that's a very important thing to do instead of looking at Kim Kardashian or looking at this celebrity and that person and saying, this is a person I want to model myself after. If you have to do something like that to say I'm modeling myself after this person, it means probably two things: that you're not comfortable with yourself, and second, you also don't have, well, what I was saying, like, enough people in your life that's influential and can help you get on the track that you want to go. So I feel that's a big thing. You got to be comfortable with yourself. Like, why? I don't want to be perfect. I don't want the perfect image. Like, a lot of young ladies, I think, struggle with this because they see how, like, these people have the perfect bodies and all this, and it hurts them. It causes them to have mental issues because they feel like they can't reach the expectations. So I just think there's a lot of issues with it as a whole, and those are the biggest ones for me.
Yeah, and most definitely can put and especially in the era of because back then in like the the 80s, it was just about maybe making your boobs bigger, but that's it. But now you can look like a totally different person. Like, look at Lil Kim from '96
I knew
compared
you
to
were going
right
to bring
now.
that up.
Like
That is the
you got
most
so many
tragic series of plastic surgery. She was beautiful when she was
yeah.
younger. She looks
It's
like fucking
insane.
LaToya Jackson now.
Yeah, and the thing is like, oh, you know what? Actress Heidi Montag, she'd been under the knife 14 times and almost died. And you have had women, unfortunately, lose their lives on the table trying to get this kind of surgeries and everything. And it's all because they're trying to look like Kim. They're trying to look like this actress. They're trying to look like Chloe. They're trying to look like Kylie Jenner. Y'all remember that Kylie Jenner lip challenge that happened some years back, and they were cutting and shredding their lips all up and puffing them up and stuff. I forgot what they were did, but I know a lot of people's faces got ruined behind that. I'm not going to sit up here and totally blame Kylie Jenner. At the end of the day, she sells a product, okay? But at the same time, it's one of those deals where it's like, at what point do you just become your own person and you take what you were born with and you might enhance that a little bit. Like she might throw a little bit of light makeup on, or he might, okay, well, I got a small frame, but if I can go to the gym, I can get bigger. Nowadays, I'm hearing
No, I
that
can't.
you can actually get bicep implants. Like dudes can get bicep implants and then go on social media and be an influencer.
Mark Wahlberg had
A
calf
gym guru.
implants.
Yeah, like you'd be surprised how many of these women you see on Instagram, and they're
Sign me
and
up. Sign me up for that. I'm trying to get a implants on my 6-pack.
Yeah. And they'll do things like this, and then they'll go and then they'll front like they're like a fitness guru. Yeah, this is how I got my body and everything. And then you come to find out, yeah, they paid $20,000 for the body they got. You got these people in the gym going, like, man, I can't never get that. I can't never look like that. Yeah, that's because you don't have 20 grand. That's the secret. But I say all that to say this before I close the show. There's a lot of dark stuff going on out there, and it all centers around money. It seems the more money people have, the more untouchable they think they are. The more they feel like they're Teflon. Here you have one of the biggest icons in music, and he's about to go on trial in May. For all the heinous stuff he's talked about, and we've covered that moons ago on the Gauntlet here. But it just goes to show you that if you're gonna have, first of all, don't worship nobody but whoever you believe in, okay? God, Buddha, Allah, whoever it is, okay? But with that being said, as far as role models go, look up to your parents or whoever your parental figure or OG aunt, somebody around the way that the village elder. See, back then it was the village elder. You know what I mean? Like that's somebody you look up to.
What if they look up to celebrity?
Yeah. The real old schoolers from way back. They're like, nah,
You want to
was
look
funny
up to
for my
Humphrey
friend and whatnot,
Bogart. He's dead, but you can look up to him. I think he was an okay guy.
Yeah, pretty decent dude. Like it's okay to kind of look up to him, kind of like how Dylan Raiola looks up to
Or your
Patrick
barber.
Mahomes. But
It is.
Better
Barber is
that
also a
than
good
his
person to
drunk
look
ass
up to.
father. Fuck that
I mean,
guy.
it is. It is.
You're watching
it's
Dominic
money,
Raiola? Fuck you.
It's
You were a
money,
shitty
and it's
center.
also. But to your point, it's money. It's also power. But at the same time, we, as in the world, not them alone, validated that. Because how many times have we heard someone sit there and say, that man runs a big time company. You can't just talk to him any old way like that. You have to respect him when you come over here and talk to him. Money is why is it you cannot, why do you have to be comfortable you can't say something to certain people? Why are certain people not going to be paying for anything when they stay someplace? What do people say if someone sat here and said, I'm still going to charge him what he needs to be? You'll be thinking like, that man is powerful. That man's got all this money in this world. He runs this business. How dare you charge him?
Why are we giving rich people free shit?
The thing is, money is the root to all evil. I firmly believe that because it's not as if it's not necessity to help survive, because that's just how our world
Only
is
when in
ran.
the clutches of the
It's
wrong
the
people.
intangible of the desire to have it in surplus and greed. There's a lot of people that feel like there's never enough money. They have to keep getting it. And it could be for a variety of reasons. It could be for, they were never had it before. So when you get something, you want to hold on to it, keep getting it. Or it could be that they used to always have it or whatever. But when you have that need, you will do things for that need. A lot of people out there go out to Hollywood and then they are put in situations because they're being monetized. And when you're being monetized, you are going to make a justification for almost anything. You're going to make a justification for almost anything. The whole emasculation of men comes from this money aspect, if we're going to be real about it, because they always talk about how these guys get on these Hollywood and they start to go feminine, or Dwayne Wade's going this way, or all this other stuff. They get money. And they're getting money, and that's what's compromising them. That's why if you really aren't someone that believes in that, then yes, stand firm on your goal and your ground. But if you firmly do not believe that if you firmly believe money is the root of all evil, when you get faced with that situation where that person's offering you that big movie role, but you got to do this, stand on your principles then. You have to stand on your principles. I'm always going to stand on my principles when it comes to money because at the end of the day, I grew up middle class, so to speak. I am not all the way there, but I don't want all the money in the world. What am I going to do with $700 billion that I'll never spend on my entire life? I just want to be able to be happy to be able to afford the things I need to survive and live the way that I'm supposed to. But
Right.
everybody looks at money as the root of all evil, and that's what all these people in Hollywood, it's all about the money. It's money and power and greed that comes with it.
Mhm. It's a business, and with any business, any corporation, the dollar is the bottom line.
And
No
you know
matter
why
what.
the
Reason
dark
they
stuff
call it the
happens is
almighty dollar.
the dark side stuff happens, and a lot of the reasons why it doesn't happen, nobody is because it's insurance for a lot of these people.
Mm-hmm.
All these people know they could go to jail if all this stuff came out. But that's why there are fall guys, unfortunately. There are people that are being out here. I used to rag on this boy, but I apologize to Justin Bieber out here because he showed you he was used and abused throughout Hollywood. But guess what he did? He turned his life around and got out. Now he ain't going back because it got to a point where he said, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm not letting the money that you're throwing me dictate this stuff. I'm getting out, and I'm choosing to be a better person.
Right.
And not a lot of people don't have the strength to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, awesome discussion on this one. On that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's episode of the Gauntlet. Shout out Bacon Grizzler, Cowboy X Factor, everybody in the comments.
I
Be
do have
sure.
one story.
Go ahead.
I do have one story. I know, but I'm gonna be very PG-13 with it. I remember one time somebody tried to make a move on me. I rejected it. The next thing you know, I got a flurry of messages talking about I can control you, I can own you. You are nothing without me. You wish that you should have had this and this. And I said, brother, you came on my line, hit me up, and you're mad because I said no to you. Find a therapist because at the end of the day, I'm not going to do what you want to do just because you think you're this big bad person. There's nothing you have that I don't have. So that's another example of what happens with people in power because the person that was coming smacking me was in a high-ranking position in a company, so he had money and power.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to stand on your principles.
Absolutely. Absolutely stand up. And you know what? And before we complete the wrap up, I'll just leave people like this. And this is a really real test to your character, okay? You treat the janitor with the same respect that you treat the CEO. Both of them are human beings. They both are men trying to feed their families or whoever it is they got to take care of. One is in a higher position than the other, but they both working men. So you treat the janitor the same respect that you treat the CEO. And if people across this country will learn that concept, maybe this nation will be a better place. With that being said, thank you for tuning into the Gauntlet. Tune into the Sideline Sports Network. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell for all updates. For JT, Dirty Dom, and JJ, I am the Snipe Dog. We will see you next week. Holla back.